the Murder Mystery 2 Christmas update is out. I mean, it's been out for like 2 weeks now, but we're just gonna ignore that. I mean, if you take a look at my battle pass, I already completed it. I got everything. But since I'm kind of late for the Christmas update, I thought it would be smart for my first video. I thought it would be smart to like rank the Christmas updates. Your boy Breeze is kind of old, and I experience every single Christmas update Murder Mystery has to offer. Anyways, if that sounds good to you, feel free to like and subscribe. Let's get into today's video. Okay, so I made a tier list on Tier Maker, and I have all the Christmas updates down here. I'm just gonna like go through each one and then like tell you what the event was, but we're starting off strong with the 2015 Christmas update. So this is the only event that I didn't really play. That was when I was like in my Lumber Tycoon 2 phase, but I remember joining it and like checking it out. And what makes it even worse with this is that there's like very little footage of this. Like the only video that I could find of the 2015 Christmas update was by Ranjo222 Chris the Goat. But as you can see, it was like a gift exchange, and there were 2 boxes. That's one of the best things about this update, is that there were 2 boxes. We need to go back for next year's Christmas update and have a knife box and a gun box for the event, because that's what it should be in my opinion. And also battle passes are getting kind of outdated, but we're gonna get to that. One of the great things about this update though is that it brought in some of the most iconic Murder Mystery 2 weapons in my opinion. Like obviously these have been duped to hell, but I still think that these are like some of my favorite weapons. I mean, this was the update where candy came out, and if you take a look at my profile picture on this channel, I have a blue candy on it. So this was like one of the best updates, but it was also the first, so like you can't really compare it. I'd put this in A tier. This was a pretty solid event. But the next update we're moving on to is the 2016 Christmas update. So this is the one that I remember the most. This was the beginning of my Murder Mystery 2 phase. This is when I started playing Murder Mystery 2. My first godly actually came from this event with Ice Dragon. It was like a Santa's workshop type thing. There was no boxes though in this event. I remember that this was like my first Christmas event, and I was like pretty excited to play this, and there was no box, and I was like so disappointed. But it did make up with like the candy cane radio and the gingerbread radio. But it only having one weapon, which was the Ice Dragon, was super disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I remember everyone was complaining about it, even though there were like a couple iconic things. I thought this was a pretty mid event. I'd probably put this in C tier. I really didn't like it. That was like when I first started playing Murder Mystery, which means that I probably would hate it now. All right, now we're moving on to the 2017 update. This update was a little bit different because there were a lot more weapons. When I say a lot of weapons, actually, there was like Frost Saber, Snowflake, and they brought back the box. Thank God they brought back the box. One of the best memories that I personally have with this update though was waking up Christmas morning. The first box that I unboxed for the event, I got the Winner's Edge knife, which back then was such a huge deal for me, and like I was going crazy. Don't mind these like trash images, by the way, but one of the biggest things that this update brought was the leaderboards. This was the first leaderboard to ever exist. There aren't that many clear pictures of it. That's the reason why all these are blurry, and the leaderboard actually gave out trophies, which nobody expected, honestly. Everyone thought it was just for fun. But this is where the candy trophies came in. There was a gold candy, a silver candy, a bronze candy, and a blue candy. I actually got on myself and managed to get a blue candy, which is insane. With a lot of bias, I'm not gonna lie, because I love this event so much. I'm gonna put this in A tier. I really liked this event. This event was so much fun, and looking back on it gave me like a couple fond memories, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I think the next one, the 2018 event, was definitely better. Next one we're moving on is the 2018 update, and I'm instantly putting this in S. The 2018 Christmas update was so good, and the reason why it was so good was because they introduced the system where you could decorate your tree in a lobby. I don't know why he has never brought this back for the game, because this was actually genuinely so cool. So you could plant your own tree and then decorate it with ornaments from crafting. It was such a cool concept. I don't know why he never brought this back, because it was genuinely like one of the craziest updates. It also brought in some like crazy effects, like the ornament effects. Those are pretty crazy now. It was very much a W update. I absolutely love this update. I think this is the best Murder Mystery update to date. Although I'm not gonna lie, the Gingerblade Godly was kind of mid. Oh yeah, and this is when he started doing chromas too. I think Chroma Bone Blade came out for the Halloween event, but this was one of the first chromas to ever exist. And also, we can't forget the trophies. So this time around, he did Sugar to pair with the blue candy, which I thought was smart. I mean, I would have preferred like a red chill or something, but I wasn't complaining with like a sugar. But yes, I did end up getting the blue sugar to pair with my blue candy. I don't know why he's never brought the tree planting concept back, because that was like so good. Nicholas, you slacking off. You slacking off. The next update is the 2019 update, which honestly was kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie. This is when he started bringing I don't have a use in to model the godlies, which was definitely like better than using Roblox models in my opinion. But this is like the typical event. This is when he started doing like copy and paste events, because this was the event that he introduced gifts, and we see this in every single update pretty much. We had the box, we had like the gifting system pretty much. The only thing different though is that he had the Santa's challenge, but I am not a huge fan of Minty, and Log Chopper was all right. Like Log Chopper was kind of mid. There was 2 leaderboards for this event instead of just 1. So if you got on the grind leaderboard, you got a blue Log Chopper, and if you got on the pay to win one, you got a blue Minty. This event I didn't get on the grind one because I was so sick during this event. I was like in bed for like 2 weeks because I was so sick. I did end up getting the blue Minty though, even though I hate the Minty mesh, but I would put this probably in B tier. I mean, at the time it was like kind of a refresh with 2 leaderboards and stuff, even though from here on out it was like kind of copy paste events. All right, let's move on to the 2020 Christmas update. Okay, so this update was kind of cool. Pretty much a copy and paste from 2019, which was kind of sad, but at the same time it did introduce some weapons that were insane to me, in my opinion. I really like the Ice Blaster and Icebreaker mesh. There was the battle pass where you could get the Icebreaker, and I actually really liked the models for these, like the Ice Blaster and Icebreaker mesh. These are some of my favorite godlies. So, and obviously you got the trophies, which these are like some of the best trophies to ever exist. These skins were kind of mid though. The Peppermint and the Cookie Blade, I didn't like these. This was another event where I just did the pay to win. I like the red Ice Blaster. I wish I had the red Icebreaker, but I was too much of a loser at the time to grind for it, so probably put an A tier just because the skins were like so good. Of course, there were some pretty garbage ones, but you know, but the Ice Blaster and Icebreaker skins kind of made up for it. All right, let's get to 2021. This is when he started like kind of being formulaic with his updates, and like every single update was pretty much the same. I mean, we got the swirly gun. I mean, the item pack was kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. I was not a huge fan of the swirly X personally, but a lot of people like it. So, and then obviously these were the trophies, and I wasn't a huge fan of the trophies. I think this was the first Christmas update where I didn't get any of them, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I didn't get any of these trophies. But anyways, this was kind of a mid update, I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably put it in C tier. I wouldn't put it below the 2016 update. Moving on to the 2022 event. Now this event was pretty good actually. The 2022 event, nothing like new or unique though. It was like another formulaic event. Very basic, but it did have an Evo. The Halloween update in 2021 introduced Evo knives, so instead this year we got an Evo knife for Christmas. The Ice Crusher is actually pretty nice. It's like this giant hammer. This was another one where like the skins were kind of like on point, I'm not gonna lie. Some pretty great skins. This is what the grinding leaderboard got, and I actually got on the grinding leaderboard this time, and I got the red Ice Piercer, which honestly, it's not bad. I think the Harvester's better, but it's not terrible. I think the skins saved this event. But I'm gonna put it in, I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. Like other than the skins, it was kind of a mid event. Then we got to 2023. This is definitely an A tier. I'm definitely putting in A tier already, because this event introduced snipers with the Ginger Scope. This is one of the best ancients to ever exist. Also, the effects were on point, the knives were on point. It was definitely the same like event from previous years, but it definitely like stood out from other events. It also had the Evergreen knife, which is insane, and the Chroma Evergreen. Like, these knives were insane. I remember, like, joining the testing server for this event, just going wild with, like, how cool the skins were. Like, come on, this is, like, one of the best skins in the game. You know what, honestly, I'm gonna bump it up to S tier. I think it was a great event. That was one of the best Christmas updates ever. And now we're getting to the 2024 Christmas update, which we're currently in right now, which, I mean, I am in the lobby in the 2024 Christmas update. But if you look in here, it's another formulaic event. It has the gifting with the bauble. It has the mystery box, which you can get the celestial gun. It has this where you can get the celestial. The only thing that I have an issue with is that I'm not a huge fan of any of it. I think there are like a couple things that are cool. Like I think the snow globe's kind of cool. I'm not gonna, I know people don't like the bundle, but I actually really like it. This one kind of reminds me of like Heat in a little bit. I really like it. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It was like kind of, but it was kind of a mid update. Anyways, I think that's all for me today. What do you think the 2025 Christmas update's gonna be like? Put your predictions in the comments. Anyways, I hope you have a fantastic day, and as they say, stay breezy.